Hi everyone, welcome to another video by Aviation Careers Podcast. Today we're going to talk about the 5 things pilots should know about CBD coming up next. And today's episode we have again with us Chris Pizzala from the law offices of Robert Strumer. Hey Chris, welcome back to the show.
Hi Carl, great to be here.
You know, this is an interesting topic because I'm very curious about it. I don't know a lot about it, which I guess is a good thing. But real quickly, tell us a little bit about your background, then we'll dive into talking about CBD and what pilots, the 5 things they need to know.
Well, of course, as you know, I got my start as a professional pilot. I flew with American Eagle, and then later with American Airlines. I'm currently flying cargo with a small cargo company with some very large airplanes. So that's been very exciting. In addition, I went to law school several years ago. I felt one career wasn't enough, so now I'm also a part-time attorney. I work with the law offices of Robert Strumer. And recently I've been doing some research into CBD and CBD products.
Interesting, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And by the way, if you're listening right now, go check us out on the YouTube channel. Also, please subscribe and click the bell so you get notified. And the thumbs up or thumbs down lets us know whether you like these videos or you want more of these. And tell us in the comments if you have any kind of questions for myself, for Chris Pizzala, please leave it in the comments. You can also go to feedback at aviationcareerspodcast.com. So let's get started. Number 1, and this question is high on my list, is what is CBD?
Right, so CBD is fairly new to a lot of folks in the United States. CBD is an oil product that's derived from the cannabis plant. Many folks, particularly high school students, are familiar with cannabis plants, which create other substances such as THC, which is found in marijuana, and a number of other products are used to develop medications or things we use daily. And so CBD is one of the byproducts, just like hemp, or one of the products that comes from the cannabis plant. Now, originally, that was a controlled substance, and it was not something that could be directly marketed. And this was changed a few years ago.
Okay, so this new CBD oil, I've been hearing a lot about it. I've heard there's medicinal uses, etc. But you know, we're always warned against any kind of usage, you know, at the airlines, etc. But how then is this different than, say, marijuana? That would be our number 2 question, by the way.
Very good. So, of course, so again, there's over 100 different chemicals that come from the cannabis plant. And the CBD products, it's basically a CBD oil that can be converted to other products, is one of those elements. But the CBD does not include normally THC. THC is the hallucinogenic element. This is the part found in marijuana, and this is the part that people sometimes use for recreational drug use. But the CBD oil, if it's produced properly, will not include more than a negligible amount of the THC. And so what it's used for is medicinal purposes. People say it works well for joints, aches, arthritis. There's a list of potential uses for this particular product.
Okay, that's interesting. So now they know there's a difference there. First of all, what's really important, though, is CBD, first of all, legal, and then who regulates it? That's our number 3 question.
Right. And so up till recently it was not. And in 2018, the Agricultural Improvement Act, or also known as the Farm Act, was approved by Congress. And that legalized the use of certain cannabis products, including hemp, which clothing is sometimes made from, and CBD. And so this opened up a huge market by legalizing this particular product, which again does not have or should not have the hallucinogenic effects of marijuana, but may have the other medicinal benefits. And you've also asked, of course, is this regulated? And the answer is no, not particularly. The Food and Drug Administration normally regulates these types of products, but this one did not fall within their purview. So it's not being regulated as a drug or medication, and it's also not being regulated as a food product. What this means is that when you go to the store to buy one of these products, there is absolutely no guarantee that the information on the label is correct. You don't even know that you're getting CBD oil. I could put olive oil in a bottle and sell it down the street, and nobody's going to check that. So this is one of the issues we run into, is whether or not you're getting the right product and whether or not it was produced correctly.
Yeah, so that's the importance of actual regulation possibly on this, and that can be an argument made there. So if it's, as far as legalities and regulations, that's something else that we're going to have to keep looking at because that's going to, if we're in a, it seems like we're in a flux right now. So we're definitely going to keep watching that. One of the more important things to us as pilots, and this is our number 4 thing that pilots need to know about CBD is CBD going to show up positive on a drug test?
So this is one of the questions we're still looking to answer. Folks familiar with drug testing will tell you that there is a minimum level of any chemical that they're looking for. So they've got to reach that minimum level. In theory, properly produced CBD should not include enough THC byproduct to trigger a drug test. The problem we run into, as we just mentioned, is they're not regulated. And the number one failure or problem we see with unregulated CBD is that the THC levels can be a lot higher than what's legally approved. Since nobody's really checking it, the likelihood of THC finding its way into CBD, particularly cheaper or less refined CBD products, is very high. And so you could be buying this product, and it may even say pure CBD. A lot of them have these great titles. It doesn't mean anything. And you could have enough THC in there to possibly trigger a drug test. We haven't had it. This hasn't been out long enough to get a lot of data, but I, as a pilot, would not take a chance on that. This is your future, and you're not going to be able to go back and show a bottle of CBD to the FAA and say, well, this is why my drug test didn't pass. They're not going to like that.
As a further point there, we're warned at the airlines to watch out for hemp. They're putting a lot of hemp in different food products, and that could set off a drug test. Now we have to worry about CBD. What comes to my mind is, oh boy, what's next?
Right. Well, all these products are related, and they're all coming from the cannabis plants. So the process, when these things are processed, the plant is separated, the chemicals are separated, and again, if you're not getting a perfect production of that, that's an issue. And right now we see a lot of CBD coming from a lot of smaller companies, and some are probably doing an excellent job, but there is no way to know which ones are and which ones are just somebody who figured out enough to kind of get it going and get it in the market.
So that brings up the next question, is number 5, and this is really important. Can I fly while taking CBD?
And the short answer to that is no. And here's why. The FAA has not weighed in on whether or not pilots can use CBD. CBD is a legal product. The problem is that the underlying condition could be disqualifying. The FAA has said that they do not see CBD as a proper treatment for any condition you could fly with. So if you have a condition that requires CBD and could not be treated some other way, the FAA considers that condition itself to be disqualifying. So the short answer is no. And if you tell the FAA that you're using CBD, you're going to open up a lot of questions you don't want to open up. So the short answer is you really can't, as a pilot, use the CBD. Most of the things that are treated with CBD can be treated with other medications that are approved. So you need to see your physician. There's a lot of physicians out there that do these wonderful prescriptions for marijuana and other things. Don't go to one of them. Go to your regular care physician. And if you have a condition, and say, here's my condition, what can we do that's going to be FAA approved?
And all this is wrapped around your FAA and flying legally. And one of the things that you can do is if you have any questions, obviously you can ask us. And it's been great having Chris Pizzala from the law offices of Robert Strumer. But most importantly, if you have to ask, it's best to do your research before you just go ahead with the process of either using CBD and reach out to an aviation attorney, your medical examiner. A lot of times even your regular doctor may not know because they may not be in aviation, just like an attorney. You need to find a good aviation attorney, and that's what the folks at the law offices of Robert Strumer can do. Chris, thanks so much for coming here again, and we'll make sure we put links in the show notes to actually all the things you've done. Your website is strumerlaw.com. You also wrote a really interesting article, and we'll have a link to that. It says, "Are CBD products safe for the pilot community?" We'll have all those links down below. Anything else you want to tell us before we cut off here?
Well, as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at the law offices of Robert Strumer, or check with your local AME and do that before you make a decision on whether or not you're going to use CBD products.
Great advice. And of course, if you could, subscribe Click on all those links below if you need any information. Hit the like or the dislike. Make sure when you do subscribe, you hit the bell there so you get notified of anything coming up. Also, for those folks out there that are looking to get into a career in aviation or just want to add some ratings, go check out the scholarships guide that we have. And you can get one free by using the coupon code PAYITFORWARD. You want to find out more about the Pay It Forward campaign and how to help people so that they can get a scholarships guide, just go to aviationcareerspodcast.com/payitforward. Really appreciate everybody coming here. And again, everything in the show notes, you can click on the links. There's really good information. Most importantly, it's really important to know the rules and follow the rules. We'll talk to you next episode. Safe flying out there.